Right. So money cannot buy happiness. I personally feel that this is a phrase that each and every one of us sitting in this auditorium has heard at least at one point in their life. It's a complex topic, but the way I would like to rephrase this is simply like this. If you believe money cannot buy happiness, you aren't spending it right. Now, straightforwardly, it might seem wrong as it did to me a year ago, where I just thought that money can buy monetary things or material things. Although today, the three main things I'm going to explain why money can truly buy happiness. Firstly, the power of giving, the argument of being pro social while having money or being anti-social while having money. Secondly, rising expectations to prove why people cannot truly be happy if they buy only physical items with money. And lastly, the hedonic treadmill, which is a psychological part with experiences and possessions. So, to start off, what can money buy? Let's think of all the things that we have with money today. So, we have financial security, our education, we go home to our home. Those are all basic necessities food, living, etc. Are things that money buys and makes us happy and secure in life where we don't panic about them. We might not be happy every day because we have them, but it is a part that plays us and makes us relax, not being stressed. Okay. So, again, happy lottery winner. All of you with your hands up if you feel like it. So yeah, I do see some amount of hands. At least that's what I thought around a year ago until I experienced and researched a little bit. When I found out that lottery winners actually turn out to be sad just a couple of months after they win the lottery, mainly due to two reasons. One, because they don't know how to spend that money and end up spending all of it within such a short amount of time that they don't know what to do with the leftovers or have nothing left at all. And secondly, they become like the person in the picture on top outside and the people at the back being their friends and family. People that used to care about them, now what they feel is that those people, when they start nudging them for money, only care about their money and not them. That feeling is what you encounter when you get a lot of money at once, such as in the lottery. But what if you won a lottery, stayed happy, and the people around you didn't start begging you for money, but started cherishing that with you? You used the money, you didn't give away the money, but you used it to create more memories for yourself. That is where you become pro social with money and essentially make yourself happy with what you have. The power of giving is another important thing that I would like to talk about. So, I'd like to give a small anecdote over here. Once I was cycling at the Mumsar Cornish, which is somewhere around 10 kilometers from here, and there was a person who offered me water after I was done cycling. And I was standing at the water station, so I did accept it. And just as a thank you, I gave the guy a small 10 dirham note. And to me, that didn't really mean much, as at that moment, I just wanted to say thank you. But the smile that was on the man's face made me feel so happy about myself and what I'd just done that for the whole day, that part did not come out of my mind. I went home, I told my parents, I was literally talking about it the whole day about how I made someone else happy with something that didn't mean so much to me, but meant so much to others. And as you go on in life, the more fortunate you get, you shouldn't get self involved with that, but also give back to society, as that doesn't only make you happy, but severely improves your mental health. So that day, when I had given the 10 dirhams in a way to charity, I came home and all of my problems were gone, at least for that moment. I wasn't remembering about studies. I wasn't remembering about the coming up competitions that I had. All the nervousness inside my body was gone. And the only thing there on my face was a smile because of how happy I was for making someone else happy. And that's something that only the more fortunate you get, the more you can do. Now, rising expectations. This is a thing that is quite important, and what made me understand why the simple concept, when you hear the first phrase, money cannot buy happiness, it sounds true. As a kid, I personally thought money signifies to the things that you see on the screen right now: cars, a Mercedes S Class probably, etc., which you personally value very high, maybe a new phone, etc. But those are only physical things, things that buy you temporary happiness. So let's take a scenario. You just went to a Mercedes dealership and you bought that car. And you were cruising down a road and you come to stop at a signal. And right to your left, the Rolls Royce Phantom stops. You're not unhappy with your car. You're ecstatic. You're listening to music. You're happy. You feel fulfilled in life. But just seeing that car that costs double yours, your heart feels, what if I had that? What if I wasn't in this car, but in that car? What humans tend to forget is that there's a population out there that doesn't even dream of having a car, but just a cycle. That doesn't even dream of having a Mercedes, but just a normal car to travel in. Those are things that humans forget, that there are people under them and over them. And humans always try to get whatever they want, whatever is more than that. And that's why money can never truly make a person happy if these are the things they concentrate on. I personally always travel in economy whenever I travel and would one day wish to travel in first class every time. Obviously, there's a dream for everyone to travel in first class, but when you travel in first class, imagine your friend calls you and he says, "Oh, last night was the best night. I flew all the way from America back to Dubai in a private jet." It's not that you're unhappy with the private jet that he flew in. It's not that you're unhappy with the first class treatment you got. It's just your mind going, what if I had more? And that's why buying these things can never make you happy. What can, on the other hand, is experiences. Rather than the possessions like I've talked about, if you use money to get experiences, to get memories, it can take you way off. Imagine you're a business owner and you can come home early, or matter of fact, skip some days as there are people in your office that you trust and they're doing your work for you. And you only have to check in maybe twice or thrice a week. So you stay at home. That time, instead of going outside and buying things for yourself, you go outside, buy things for your family. Or you come back home, you sit on a simple dinner where you usually would have come late, try to rush it through and get back to work. You sit, relish it, and enjoy your time with the family. Those are things that getting more security of money can buy you with your family. Experiences not only with families, but friends, etc. Those are things that will truly make you happy. And to explain the psychological part, the hedonic treadmill. So, audience, all of us have experienced this at least once, whether we know it or not. So, imagine, simplest thing, we bought a new phone in our house, and it's your phone, you got a gift. So, your happiness levels immediately rise up. Let's imagine a graph, your happiness levels shoot up from around 20% to 50%. Although, what the hedonic treadmill states is just like a treadmill where you started, it will eventually come back there. So let's take a month or two, and the phone is now integrated into your life. You live with it every day, you put an alarm on it every day, you call people, use it for WhatsApp, etc. Now that it's a part of your life, you don't feel that ecstatic with it. It's again not that you're ungrateful for it, you're very grateful for it. You love the phone, but your happiness levels eventually return back to normal. But if you created memories with your family, audience, have you never thought back at a memory and just smiled? Just remembered how great that time was? That is something that sort of beats the hedonic treadmill. As memories constantly keep in your mind, once upon a time in a treadmill, you'll encounter them. But possessions that you own will be there for you, but eventually will not make you as happy as you could be. So, now for a small analogy, I would like you all to imagine that the water in two of these glasses signify happiness. So, the first glass has no happiness, and let's consider these three are people. So, one person has no happiness, they're just still with their life and they're just living their life, doing 9 to 5 job and nothing much. The second person still does a 9 to 5 job but is more happy. And even the third person does a 9 to 5 job but is even more ecstatic with his life. Comes home, enjoys with his family, hugs his son, and loves his life. Now, imagine we poured money into all three of these glasses. No matter how much money you pour stuff into the first glass, no water will appear. But in the second glass, the water will rise up. And in the third glass, the water and money might just start to overflow. So, what this essentially proves is that no matter how much money you put, you need to have a certain level of happiness in the start to increase that. Money will increase your happiness in the way you spend it, but you need to not get overtaken by money, understand it, and spend it in the ways that make you happy. Let's consider this glass, which is overflowing with water, or in my scenario, happiness. So, no one sees money in here, and there is no money in there. This person can be the richest person in the world, or it can even be a person who's homeless. Happiness obviously transcends money, but the sense of security and the happiness that the sense of security, etc., gives you in life is one thing that money can buy. And now, to conclude, to reiterate, if you believe money cannot buy happiness, you aren't spending it right. And just because it's not my position to tell you that, I would like each and every one of you to step outside today, go home, go out in the evening to the nearest park or wherever you wish, and take a small 5 to 10 dirham note and hand it to someone less fortunate than you. That smile on their faces, I guarantee you, will bring you more happiness for the whole day than you would have experienced ever. Thank you.